The end of another ferry crossing from England to Douglas in the Isle of Man. As usual, it's a mixture of holidaymakers and locals returning home who've made the short journey across the Irish Sea. However, among their number, a man, his partner and their young son make their way quietly through the terminal. But this man is a little bit different to the other passengers, for he's none other than John McGuinness, TT racer.
First time I come across, I think, was 1982 or 83 with my parents. I've sort of come every year since then. You know, I really enjoyed it and always had a place in my heart. I always wanted to do it. And '96 was the first time I did it on a 250 Honda with Paul Bird Motorsport, and I've been every year since then. We've got Yamahas across the board. The R6 Proddy bike, R6 Supersport bike, R1 Proddy, and an R1 Superbike that's been prepared by, you know, the best guys in the country. And I'm riding that little 400 of Ricky Leddy's as well. It looks like tonight's going to be pretty good, so we'll get stuck in and try and get 5 or 6 laps in tonight. I think there's a little bit of confusion with the scrutineering. It was a little bit slow. I mean, I'm not going to start saying who's to blame, but something went wrong in the scrutineering and I was really late getting out, and I missed the first 25 minutes of the first session, which was a little bit stressful, but, you know, I mean, fortunately the R6 is you know, reasonably experienced around in the northwest, so we're not too far away with that. But yeah, it was a bit stressful, but now we got out in the end. It did mess me up, but then I got out on the production bike and it ran out of petrol. I had to nick some juice off somebody at the Craig and get back. A little bit late coming, but you know, the boys have just took the time to make sure the job was right, and you know, Rob Mack and their team have put the bike together, and they're really busy with the British Championship campaign. So, you know, better late than never, but they've took the time, and looking at the bike now, it looks like a race winner, and I can't wait to get my leg over it tonight. The first lap was reasonably good, but there was a lot of traffic, and it was over 122, I think. So, considering the bike only arrived yesterday, and we just first time I sat in it to lap at that speed, it's brilliant, and it seems absolutely. I couldn't get my breath on it when I went down Braille. It was so fast, and it felt if everything was new and tight, and it just felt second nature to ride it fast straight away. I rode the bike last year. A little bit of a story behind it. I was just sort of looking in the papers, seeing who was doing the business on the 400s, and this Steve Toombs kept appearing on this RLR Motorsport Honda, so I went to a club meeting to approach him to see if he'd lend me an engine for a bike that we had, and he says, why don't we just come with a full package? I said, perfect. And it came over midweek, and we managed to, I won my third TT, you know, so we've really refined the bike. The boys have done a lot of work on it over the close season, and just looking at it now, it looks like a race winner. Finally tuned the engine, with a little bit more power out of it, modified the fairing at the front, made it look a bit sleeker so it'll cut through the air a bit more. And at the TT last year, it was a little bit soft everywhere in the suspension, and me being a bit of a fat boy, it was grinding out everywhere, and the exhausts were grinding on the road, so they've modified the exhaust and got them high up out of the way. So all the things I've asked for, they've done, so you know, I can't say any further than that. Just over the last few years, I've worked with Jim. I worked with him at Triumph last year, and I know how he operates, and everything's got to be absolutely perfect, which has to be at the TT at this level. You know, if we're here to win races, everything's got to be absolutely perfect, and it's just that little bit extra I needed for to be in the right frame of mind to be able to win. You know, he's pulled me up on lots of things like tear-offs and bits and bobs like that you don't even think about. You would think about flies, you know.
Planning just to come here for a bit of a holiday, but he's kind of taught me into coming over here for the full fortnight to look after him.
Seen you breaking into like Signpost, Solby, back in home, dead smooth. Yeah. Are you getting a tiny little bit of tail? No. But it's definitely not pattern, no. Anyway, apart maybe like obviously balance good, but anyway with the back end patterns, no.
Got all the anxiety and the stress of a normal TT that I'll be in myself, but not actually getting the release by going out on the bike and, you know, riding for myself. But watching John and seeing him try real hard and progressing the way we're progressing, it's the next best thing.
Went through the start and finish through bottom of Braille, and the bike was handling fantastic, and I thought, this is it might be on. And the conditions were perfect, you know, racing line was clean, and there wasn't any wind at all, no sun, so I really went for it on that lap. And I didn't think it'd be lap record breaking pace, but I knew it'd be quite quick, and it was quite surprising actually when I came in. They told me it was a 17:46. A bit strange really, not really much emotion, you know. I was just, what can you do, you know. It's a bit of a worry really going that fast in practice, and having all the luck in practice. It might go upside down in the race, but I don't know. Obviously the race is a lot more pressure on us, I'm a bit nervous about the whole week now. We're going so fast in practice, you know. Although sort of on paper it looks like I'm going to be able to win it, you know, but who knows, you know, anything can happen in the race. Taz boys are going to be in there, and Locker will probably wake up on Saturday morning. And no, we haven't really had any hard work. That's what's so strange about the whole week, you know. 600's never missed a beat. We just put a little bit of oil in the forks and a click here and a click there. And the superbike, to be honest, we've done absolutely nothing with it. Since the bike arrived, we put 10mm of oil in the forks, which is just unheard of at the TT, really, you know. And all we've done is just put petrol and tyres in it. And after 5 laps, we broke the lap record, which is, you know, it's fantastic. So I don't know, maybe the hard work will start on tomorrow.